change this outspoken. Hey guys. Today I'm going to be doing book tapping, scratching, and reading. So, yeah, hope you relax. Fall asleep. Yeah, so let's get started. Also, if you hear someone snoring, that would be my dog. Yeah. Untold History of Westeros and the Game of Thrones. I love this book. It's so fun to read. Hope you can see everything. Well, that's okay. Such a beautiful book. Guess I'll read you a passage. I'm just gonna flip over to a random page. This is my favorite passage, actually. The Age of Heroes. The Age of Heroes lasted for thousands of years, in which kingdoms rose and fell. Noble houses were founded and withered away, and great deeds were accomplished. Yet, what we truly know of these ancient days is hardly more than what we know of the Dawn Age. The tales we have now are the work of septons and maesters, writing thousands of years after the fact. Yet, unlike the children of the forest and the giants, first men of this age of heroes left behind some ruins in ancient castles that can corroborate parts of the legends, and there are stone monuments in the battlefields and elsewhere marked with their runes. It is through these remnants that we can begin to ferret out the truth behind the tales. Maybe let's read this passage. It is best to remember that when we speak of those legendary founders of realms, we speak merely of some early domains, generally centered on a high seat such as Casterly Rock or Winterfell, that in time incorporated more and more land and power into their grasp. If Garth Greenhand ever ruled what he claimed was the kingdom of the Reach, it is doubtful its writ was anything more than a notional beyond a fortnight's ride from his holes. But from such petty domains arose the mightier kingdoms that came to dominate Westeros in the millennia to come. The Long Night. It's another, ooh, I like this. The Rise of Valyria. Okay, one last passage. We'll move on to the next book. As Westeros recovered from the long night, a new power was rising in Essos. This vast continent stretching from the narrow sea to the fabled Jade Sea and far away, what does that say, Uthos? Yeah, Uthos seems to be the place where civilization as we know it developed. The first of these, notwithstanding the dubious claims of Korth, the Yiddish legends of the great empire of the Dawn, and the difficulties of finding any truth. No, wait, oh no, I didn't, okay. Of finding any truth in the tales of legendary Ashai was rooted in Old Geese, a city built upon slavery. The legendary founder of this city, Grazdan the Great, remains so revered that men of the slaver families are still often given his name. True. It was he who, according to the oldest histories of the Giscari, founded the lockstep legions with their tall shields and 3 spears, which were the first to fight as disciplined bodies. Old Geese and its army proceeded to colonize its surroundings, then pressing on to subjugate its neighbors. Thus was the first empire born, and for centuries it reigned supreme. It was on the great peninsula across from Slaver's Bay that those who brought an end to the empire of Old Geese, though not to all their ways, originated, sheltered there amidst the great volcanic mountains known as the 14 Flames, were the Valyrians. These people right here, who learned to tame dragons and make them the most fearsome weapon of war that the world ever saw. The tales the Valyria told of themselves claimed they were descended from the dragons and were kin to the ones they now controlled. I wish dragons existed, to be honest, but I don't think that would end well for us in this lifetime. It's funny how I know it's funny how I know that fictional history rather than real history. Maybe I should get into it. But no history book looks as good as this book. No. It's a good book. I recommend, but it is expensive. Luckily I got it for Christmas. This was when Torrhen Stark bent the knee to, I think his name was Aegon the Conqueror. I really can't wait for Winds of Winter to come out, but I've been waiting for a good I think people have been waiting for longer, to be honest. But yeah, it's been a while. To the next book. Let's get some art books down up here. The last episode was really disappointing. Oops, sorry, gotta fix the mic. Jeez, yep. Yeah, the last episode was disappointing. Hold up, yo. There you go. Don't want to be like, I was watching it when it first came out in my cinema, and I loved the what was it? I think it was, yeah, I really liked Last Jedi, despite like the flaws of it when I watch back at it. But I got the message. I got the tone it was going for, you know. It just, yeah, the last, I guess, this trilogy was such a disappointment. I was just like, what the heck? I wanted better for Ben Solo. Justice for Ben Solo. Jesus Christ. I was so disappointed with his fate. Hear footsteps. That's probably my mom. She's washing her face. Sorry guys. If you hear noises, it just can't be avoided, no matter how late. If I do it too late, I'm going to. I can't be too bothered. Look, design. Sorry, I get too excited when I see the initial design of the characters. Makes you, I don't know, makes you curious how it could have been. I hope you can hear my tapping. There, yeah. Let me see. Her name was supposed to be Kira, but they changed her name to Rey. I don't know why. I think it says here, but I don't really remember. I don't really read it. I was just looking at its images. Maybe it says here. I don't know. I think there was again the villain. Oh, here. This was supposed to be. They thought of. I'm not sure if he's supposed to be a Jedi killer. So I'm gonna read it. So for the early episode, 7 Meetings in January, Rick Carter tacked up work, primarily pirate paintings by the late 19th century American illustrator Howard Pyle, nature photography, and Zen Buddhist imagery that evoke both the wabi-sabi aesthetic and the Force. Concept paintings from legendary Star Wars concept designer Ralph McQuarrie, images of mountain climbing, and stills from Akira Kurosawa films, including 1958's The Hidden Fortress, which directly inspired Lucas's Star Wars episode 4, A New Hope. At one point in the January 9 meeting, Carter handed a stack of random Kurosawa stills to Kiri Hart and asked her to use them to tell the story of Episode 7. The 5 chosen images from films such as Rashomon and The Hidden Fortress perfectly illustrated Kira's journey of self-discovery from fearful, force-sensitive to master. I remember watching something, and I think this proves it, that episode 8, episode 8 or episode 9. I don't know what number was. I gotta look back, but The Last Jedi, they followed, Rian Johnson followed the original outline of George Lucas's script. So it's funny how people kind of criticized it, and I don't know, maybe because they kind of obviously with Luke Skywalker's character, they were expecting him to be like a master, but to be honest, that would have been kind of boring, and there wouldn't be any character development anyway if he just all of a sudden was just a master. Like, what was he gonna do? Just train Rey, and then just be like, then he'll just be any other character, you know what I mean? But I guess what angered them the most is his out of character, how he got scared of Ben. Spoilers, by the way, and I guess nearly attacked, like was about to attack him. You see, I'm not a very I'm not a hardcore fan. Like, I'm not a hardcore fan of Star Wars, so I don't follow like how his character is. But I guess I understand how people would feel. He kind of did something against his character. So yeah, either way, I really liked Last Jedi. Even though again it did have some flaws that I do agree with, I still think it's my favorite film. Favorite episode out of the new sequel trilogy. Anyway, I think this was supposed to be Kira and this was supposed to be Finn, I believe. I think so. Look. Oh my god, I'm like going off tangent, sorry. I'm like I haven't read this like since 2 years ago, that's why I've not read it. There you go. He's early, so his name is Sam, which I guess was supposed to be Finn, and this is Kira, which turned out to be Rey. So screenwriter Michael Arndt would later describe these early versions of Episode 7's young heroes, Kira and Sam, as loner, hothead, gearhead, badass, and pure charisma, respectively. So I guess he was supposed to be like Han Solo in a way. I like Finn. Finn's awesome, and they butchered his character. I'm not gonna lie, they butchered his freaking character. I hate it so much. What can you do? Oh, this is nice. Oh, my back hurts. I'm sitting behind the camera, so it's like reaching out. Anyway, it's really pretty. I want to get another art book, but they're hella expensive, so yeah, that's creepy. Luke Skywalker in the sand. The sand is pouring in on top of him, and he doesn't care. At one point, he suddenly just opens his eyes. I wonder what the context was before that. Well, anyway. They definitely, this is original outline, so I think this was like in the, like, Rey was supposed to find something in the Death Star that was underwater. Like it was supposed to be like a treasure adventure. That was what Episode 7 was supposed to be, And then obviously they followed that into the last episode, The Rise of Skywalker. Just total bullshit. I swear that my least favorite, just major disappointment. Like, it wasn't bad, but I would not watch it again. I just remember the utter disappointment I had watching it. Oh, gosh. Anyway, that was the end of my rant. My 30-second rant. Cool. Oh, man. Fun. Is this supposed to be Kylo Ren? I don't know. Villain Hunter. I think they're supposed to be a Jedi killer. Then they turned the Jedi killer. I think Kylo Ren was like the last addition to be added, which was cool because he is a wonderful character. That's my mom. Anyway. What is this supposed to be? Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty cool. Ooh, I think, is this supposed to be Finn? I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be Finn. Let me see. John Doe. They keep adding characters. Anyway, I think we should head on to the next book because I am getting too invested. Anyway. Star Wars, everybody. The Force Awakens. Six of Crows. Ooh, sorry, the camera. I love the sound of the cover. Sorry, hold on. Again, the Tibetan scam. I'm gonna see if I can hear. Okay, good, because I thought it wasn't recording. Anyway, if it somehow becomes louder, I moved it closer. That's why. Anyway, Six of Crows. And the design of the book is beautiful. It's beautiful. No mourners, no funerals. Sorry. Sometimes I get confused with my R's because I'm from Australia for some reason. My accent is American. I was born here. This book, I couldn't really get too into it, sadly. Like, I really did want to get into it, but it wasn't my type of thing. I don't know. I don't know. I heard it was a good book, and like the only reason why I got this book was because it was it had POV chapters. POV chapters for me are my favorite type of format, so that's why I decided to read this book. And other series is called, but I have it in my shelf, but I haven't read it yet, so I don't want to take it out because I couldn't tell you much about it. But yeah, Six of Crows is basically just like, I guess, 6 people getting together and it's like a fantasy heist basically. They're trying to get this guy who manufactures like drugs that enhances the powers of a certain type of people, species, I guess. I don't know. I forgot what they're called. The concept was cool. I liked the concept, but I don't know. I just couldn't get too invested in it. The characters, like the only character I liked was probably, I forgot her name, but I think I know her name was like, she's like a shadow cat. I don't know, I think it's, oh my god, sorry, Jesus, oh my god. So these are the they're called the Grisha. So like I really like the concept of it, but the characters, I felt like I get this was a book for teenagers, but I felt like I guess they were a little too young for my liking. Like I couldn't imagine, but then again, this is like fiction, so I shouldn't be too fussy. I don't know, I just couldn't get behind this book. I'm not very interested in it. That's her name, Inej. She was the only character I liked. She's really cool. All the other characters are like, oh, we're bad because we're just bad. I guess I was comparing it too much to Game of Thrones, which I shouldn't, because it's a completely different book. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this book. Maybe it'll just be one of those books that are unread. Read the blurb for you if you guys want, so if you are interested, because I might not like it, but you guys, whoever's watching this, might like it, so I wonder if there is a blurb. I don't think there is a blurb. There it is, there's the blurb. Criminal prodigy Gaz Brecker is offered a chance at a deadly heist. Break into the Ice Court, a military stronghold that has never been breached, and retrieve a hostage whose knowledge could change Grisha magic forever. To succeed would mean riches beyond his wildest dream, but he can't pull it off alone. A convict with a thirst for revenge, a sharpshooter who can't walk away from a wager, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy known as the Wraith, a heartrender using her magic to survive the slums, a thief with a gift for unlikely escapes, 6 dangerous outcasts, 1 impossible heist. Together they might just be unstoppable if they don't kill each other first. That's 6 of Crows, everybody. Yeah, for real though. You might like the book. It's I think the universe is that's in this book is really cool though. The characters, I don't know. Those different characters I'd probably, again, because I'm biased, I just that's their name. If you're watching this, I've already ordered Commotion in the Ocean. I think that's what it is. I'm just waiting for it to come along with other books, because I do want to do a storytelling ASMR. So if you're watching this, just hold on a bit. I'll definitely read it. Just waiting on the order. Gosh, my back hurts. Again, I'm behind the camera and I'm reaching out just to tap on this book. Yeah, Wonder is so good book. I'll read the blurb to you. Miss Carbuncle's homies for wayward and misbegotten creatures. Have you been unexpectedly burdened by a recently orphaned or unclaimed creature? Worry not, we have just a solution for you. What a shit lady. It's a good book. It's definitely for like kids in like year 5 or year 6. It's a good book. Guess I'll read the first page for you. Before he was called the Wonderling, he had many names: Puddlehead, Plunker, Grounding, and Spike. Among others, he didn't mind these much, not even Groundling. The name he truly disliked was the first he ever remembered being called, Number 13. It wasn't a name, really, just a number, written in red on a piece of paper, filed in a drawer in a room full of hundreds of files and drawers. It was embossed on a small tin medallion, attached to a piece of cord he wore around his neck at a home for unclaimed creatures. It was sewn inside his tattered grey shirt and shabby grey trousers, and it was painted on his hard, narrow bed in a room full of the beds of other unclaimed creatures who had at least been fortunate enough to have been given the gifts of their own names at birth. Oh, the blurb's right here. I'm so dumb. Okay, next book. Okay. Well, not really a book, but a comic. Fables, Legends in Exile. I got this like years ago. I think I was like a year out of high school. Yeah, I got this because Wolf Among Us, the game, The Wolf Among Us, and yeah, I was curious as to the other characters, because I don't think they're obviously I don't think they're gonna make another game anytime, not anytime at all, which is sad. I really like that game. Well, if you know, if they happen, if I'm lucky in this lifetime, maybe they'll make it. You know what they are making, and you know, not making, but you know what they're releasing soon? Final Fantasy VII. Excited. Other hand. My hand isn't as fables. So, for those of you who don't know, I guess the general gist of this story is that it's a bunch of fairy tale characters that's been exiled, but like they had to get out of their wherever they lived, and they all moved into New York. I don't know what happened to their, I think they explain it, probably. I don't think so, but I don't think this is the first issue. I think this is like the 5th volume of Fables. I couldn't find the first. You know what? I think this is the first one because I couldn't find the. I guess the first one. I don't know. If this isn't the first one, then I couldn't find the first one. But anyway. I got another one, but the other one isn't as good as this. The art isn't as good as, as good as this one, at least in my opinion. I think the art in this one is more, I like it better, is what I'm trying to say. Fables created by Bill Willingham. It wasn't made. It's I think it's released under DC Comics. Vertigo's under DC Comics, I think, or is it Marvel? Yeah. I got this like years ago, so long ago. I think this part is about, obviously, who killed Rose Red. Is Rose Red Riding Hood? I don't know. In Fabletown, where fairy tale legends live alongside New Yorkers, the question is all anyone can talk about, but only the big bad wolf can actually solve the case, and along with Rose's sister, Snow White, keep the Fabletown community from coming apart at the seams. I think Snow White. This is Snow White. And this is the big bad wolf. As you can see, I don't know who these people are. I think this is supposed to be Snow White's Prince Charming. If I remember the story correctly. And he started dating her sister, Rose Red, but didn't even know existed. Does she have it? Maybe only in Fables. No. Look how eerie that is. It's coming out of the wolf's clothing. That's Snow White. Sorry that I'm getting too into it. It's just I haven't looked at these in a long while. That's why. The only one I've recently read is probably the World of Ice and Fire book. And that was like, what, 2 months ago? Not December, like January, February. this Jack who climbs the beanstalk. If you guys have made it this far, guess who these two are? Who are the guess what fairy tale characters they are. Might as well make a game out of it, right? Still recording. Okay, cool. Sometimes it cuts off. That makes me uncomfortable for some reason. I don't know. This is like a volume. I don't know if this is the first volume. Guess who that is? Because I don't know who the fuck that is. Edgy. Sorry, I'm like trying to find out who that lady was. But yeah. That's Fables. It's a good read. But to be fair, to be honest, I haven't read this since the first time I bought it. I'm probably gonna read it again sometime soon. Because obviously I was reading it, so I was recording the video. Let's do some blanket scratching. Okay, last one. Another comic book that I've bought so many years ago. Yeah, so many years ago. I think I was still in high school. I think 2000 and when did I graduate? 2010? Either 2010 or 2011, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's called Ink Tales. It's like a bunch of, I thought it was just like one, it was like one artist, but it has multiple artists, hence the name Ink Tales, because it's a whole bunch of them. It's all the those stories are relating to their tattoos. Oops, sorry, it's a little too close to the mic, so. Hopefully I can post this video soon. But sometimes my bloody computer, not my computer, my phone doesn't give all the videos for some reason. But anyway, Inktails. I think it has a blur, but nice, it does. It does. Okay, Inktails delivers some of the best work from emerging and established Australian writers and artists in comics today. It doesn't matter whether you love or hate tattoos, the graphic anthology will change the way you perceive one of the oldest art forms in human history. Inktail collects the works of Airy, Black Betty, Steve Boyd, G. Hale, Billy Hysteria, Andrew Isaac, Lindy Liu, Dale McCanty, Kate Moon, Bruce Mutard, Jesus Polos, Will Playton, and Benjamin Plyman, Grange Wallace, and Justin Woolley. I don't know. There weren't any stories that stuck out to me, but who knows, maybe if I reread it, obviously. I got it from Supernova, either in 2010 or 2011. I was 15 then, which was nearly 9 years ago. You tell 1970. Sorry, I'm like reading it like this. Manga. Is this the place? Yeah, it's called the Green Dragon. You've been here before. I kinda don't wanna read it. Sorry guys. I guess you guys can look at it yourself. I'm not a fan of the art. It's very basic. But you know, I'm not much of an artist myself. I'm an art enthusiast. But I would love to draw as good as, I guess, these people. Even though, again, they're not. I think this is the one that stuck out to me. In God's hands. So. It's stuck together because I spilled the drink in my bag. On my way back, and yeah, it just stuck. Sorry guys. There you go. Jeez. Does the daughter have cancer? She does. What are the tattoos for? I'm reading it backwards. So. in high standard, even though I'm not much of an artist myself. Oh my god. I'm not even gonna try and do that. Okay. That is it. Thank you for, if you have Nikki talk. If you have made it to the end of this video, thanks so much for, watching, obviously. I'm glad that there are people who want to watch my videos, no matter how simple they are, and I guess, yeah, you know what, that's the only word, simple. It's not really special or anything, but it does make me happy that there are people watching out there. And yeah, the fact that I got 12 subscribers, because the last time I looked at the creator studio, I was like, there was only 8 subscribers, and even then I was pretty happy. But I looked back at it just before I recorded this video, and I found that I got 12 subscribers. How cool is that? So I'm pretty happy that there are 12 people watching out there, and I hope that I make, I hope that I make you guys feel relaxed, and at least I hope you fall asleep, because I talk a lot, so I hope that some of my rambling makes you feel relaxed and sleepy, or at least sleepy. So yeah, thank you.